Hi guys, my name is Christine and I am the creator of the MyIBSLife Instagram account. I am a little tipsy for this video, but I'll get into why in a second. But also, yes, alcohol is one of my IBS triggers. Thank you so much for asking. I have a whole video coming out on this coming Saturday talking about what drinks I do drink, what drinks I stay away from, how alcohol affects me, all of that great stuff. So if you would like to see that video, make sure to subscribe down below and stay tuned. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Anyway, some of you have expressed that you would like me to do some story time videos about my IBS, and I'm happy to deliver on that. Just one problem. I suck at telling stories. So I figured maybe if I got a little tipsy, just a little bit, it might make things better, but probably not now that I'm thinking about it. And just as a little background info on me in case you're new here, I have had IBS for over 13 years now. I was diagnosed back in 2007, so I have had some pretty interesting times where IBS has made things really, really awkward. I've also been dreading making this video because some of the stories I'm about to share, I have really tried to black out of my mind. I will say that I don't have any crazy stories where I shat myself in front of my CEO. I don't have any great stories like that, but I do obviously have stories of where my IBS has made things really weird. So here are a few stories of how IBS has made social situations pretty damn awkward for me in the last few years. Okay, so at my first job out of college, I worked at an accounting firm, and it was pretty frequent that I would have to go to dinner banquets and dinner award ceremonies, and definitely had to go to a bunch of lunch meetings. There was one time in particular, it was 2 days before Christmas. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was an internal work, company lunch meeting. It was me, my boss, and two partners of the firm. I really liked the two partners of the firm, so before I go further, I loved them, it's fine. But one of the partners that was gonna be at this lunch meeting was notorious for making lunch meetings really long because he loved to eat and drink. Anytime you were asked to go to a lunch meeting with this particular partner, you could count on being out of the office for probably 3 to 3.5 hours. And most people got excited to go to lunch meetings with this partner because of that, because he would pay for these grand meals and it would just be a wine tasting pretty much because he loved wine. But for me, someone that has issues, that was my worst nightmare. Anyway, okay, so I had to go to this lunch meeting with these two partners and my boss. We go to this really nice Italian place. I've been to this place before, so I know there's a few options on the menu I could eat. But that day I was you know what, I'm just going to stick to a salad, literally nothing else except salad and a water. Maybe I'll get a Sprite if I'm feeling crazy. But that's it, and I'm not letting this one partner peer pressure me into anything else, because this one partner would do that. He would try to peer pressure everyone into eating all this stuff and drinking all this stuff, not because he was being a bully or just being weird. He just really wanted people to have a good time with him. So we go to this restaurant, and mind you, my boss knew me inside and out, and she knew I had all these stomach problems, and she knew I was dreading this lunch so bad. We get to this restaurant and the waiter comes up to us and he's like, what do you guys want to drink? The partner that I've been referring to, let's call him Ed. We'll call him Ed, okay? Ed's like, oh, don't worry, I brought wine for everyone. And he only brought bottles of red wine. Ed is a huge wine connoisseur. He loves wine. I can't drink red wine. So I'm like, oh God, okay, what am I gonna do? So before the waiter goes though, I'm like, oh, I'll have a water. Ed was like, make sure to bring wine glasses for everyone at the table as well. Then I start kind of sweating because I'm like, how am I gonna tell Ed I'm not drinking red wine? But I start looking at my boss because I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And she's kind of looking at me you're on your own. So the waiter comes back with 4 wine glasses and Ed starts to pour red wine into everyone's wine glass. But once he got to me, I was like, oh no thanks, I don't want any red wine. And he's like, Christine, come on, you have to have some red wine. It's the best wine I've ever picked out. When I tell you I had to battle Ed for probably a solid 2 minutes on me not being able to drink red wine, he just didn't believe me. I was like, no, Ed, like I literally can't drink this. I'm gonna get sick. Christmas is coming up. I can't be sick for Christmas. He's like, no, 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 no. You can drink red wine. He goes to pour it. And I'm like, Ed, no. I like literally had to like move my wine glass. And I was like, I'm not drinking that. But then it came time to order food, which is the most dreadful time. Let's just say I knew I was screwed the minute the waiter came to take our orders. Everyone's ordering like 2 appetizers and like 2 entrees, and then we get to me, right? And I'm like trying to whisper to the waiter at this point because I don't want Ed to hear what I'm ordering. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll take the house salad. And the waiter's like, excuse me, I couldn't hear you. I'll take the house salad. And then Ed is just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I am not letting you just get a salad. You are getting this, this, and this. I was just like, no, Ed, I'm like literally not getting any of that. So I convinced the waiter that the house salad is all I want. I want nothing else that Ed has suggested to me. The waiter takes my order, and now I have to deal with Ed, who is lecturing me pretty much on how this restaurant has the best food and I can't believe you're only getting a salad. And I'm sitting there mortified. I'm looking at my boss like, I'm never fucking coming to these meetings again. And she was just like, yeah, it's probably best you don't. Okay, here's another work one that's actually kind of embarrassing. You know what, let me take a sip of wine first before this one starts. Okay, so there was a time before I met Jay, who, if you don't know who Jay is, he is my lovely boyfriend that I now live with. I was dating another guy and we worked together. I'll call him Ryan. Me and Ryan were dating, and one of the really cool things about dating Ryan, I shouldn't say that, he lived literally 5 seconds from work. Now listen, I liked Ryan for a lot of other reasons. It's not just because his house was like 5 seconds away, but I found a lot of comfort in knowing that Ryan's house was so close that if I ever had any crazy IBS attack at work, I could skip having to use the public bathrooms at work and just quickly go drive up to Ryan's house, use his bathroom, and then drive back. So that day came where that started happening. I had actually just gone on a week-long vacation with Ryan. I did not have a bowel movement the entire 6 days we were in Jamaica, and at this point we were back for like 3 or 4 days and I still hadn't made a bowel movement. IBS-C was like kicking my ass at this point. I was sitting at my desk at work. All of a sudden I get pains and cramps from hell in my intestines. I start freaking out. All I grab is my purse and my cell phone, and I run out the door and I drive to Ryan's. By the time I got to Ryan's, the pain I was feeling in my intestines. Okay, my IBS-D friends, think of your worst IBS-D flare and the cramps you get. And I mean cramps that give you chills down your spine, make you borderline throw up, make you feel like you're almost in labor, make you feel like you have to go to the emergency room. Those were the cramps that were happening inside my body. I book it to Ryan's bathroom. I get in the bathroom. I can't go to the bathroom. I'm literally sitting on the toilet, like bent over completely, doing everything in my power to push out anything. I start crying. I probably sat on the toilet for 5 minutes before I start trying to text and call Ryan. He doesn't answer my calls, so I'm texting him and I'm like, listen, this is super awkward. I am on your toilet. I am dying. I cannot move. And I think I need to go to the emergency room. He texts me back saying that he's at like some really important business meeting. I start texting and calling my mom. You need to come to Ryan's right now. I think I need to go to the emergency room. I'm in so much pain. My mom's like, okay, I'm on it. It has probably been a half hour since I left work, if not longer, without me telling my boss where the fuck I am. My mom comes into Ryan's house, finds me upstairs on the bathroom floor, only wearing my underwear and my bra. It was literally one of those times like in the memes where it's like when you have like diarrhea and you like undress yourself and you don't know why. I was just in so much pain that like that just felt like the right thing to do. So my mom finds me there like that, and of course she's worried and she's like, what's going on? Does your boss know where you are right now? And I'm sitting there crying. I'm like, no, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. I don't know what to tell her. It wasn't even like I had missed calls or texts or anything from my boss. She probably didn't even know that I was gone, honestly. But my mom makes me text my boss. Also, I lied in the text message, but you know, whatever. I send my boss a text message that says, hi. I started having bathroom issues and every stall in the building was occupied. I ran up to Ryan's house to use the bathroom and I got really sick. My mom is now here and I need to go home. But I had only been working at this job for not even like a full 3 months at this point, so I felt bad. And I told her, I will stop by work to pick up my laptop so I can work from home. First of all, there's so many things wrong with this. One, there's no way that she believed when I told her that every stall in the building was occupied. But then I had to scrape myself off Ryan's bathroom floor. My mom pretty much had to carry me into her car. I had to be driven back to my work, look my boss in the eye as she handed me my work laptop. And then told me to feel better. And then the next day I went into work and I literally walked into my boss's office and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm here. And she was just like, you don't need to explain. Just go to your desk and go do some work. But that was super embarrassing. Having to tell your boss you literally left work to go shit at someone else's house because you're too afraid of pooping at work, and also because you haven't pooped in like 10 days or more, that's mortifying. I'm still embarrassed by that one. Okay, and I think this is the last story I'm gonna tell you guys for this video. Literally like weeks before I met Jay, I started seeing this guy that I went to high school with. While we were in high school, we didn't talk, but I knew he was like kind of a cool guy. And mind you, I was what, like 20? I was 24 at the time I met this guy. Like I should not have given a single F about how cool this guy was back in high school. He DM'd me and he ended up asking for my number. We texted for a few days and then he was like, hey, let's meet up. Let's like go on a date. So we picked a date, a time, and a place. I believe it was like on like a Monday night. It was definitely during the work week, which thank God, which you'll find out why later. I did not eat before the date because I was afraid that if I ate, I wouldn't feel good, which goes against everything I said in my How to Survive the First Date with IBS video I just posted. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. By the time I literally got to the date, I was starving. So me and him are at this bar, we're ordering drinks. He was actually like kind of shy on our date, which I actually wasn't expecting at all. So I was the one that had to keep like thinking of things to say and asking him questions, and I was like just trying to learn more about his life and keep him talking. I drank one full mojito. I order a second mojito. I drink maybe half of that mojito and I start to realize I am so hungry that I'm starting to get acid reflux, and my mojito is just going like in circles from my stomach to my throat, my stomach to my throat, my stomach to my throat. The smart thing in that situation would probably be to order food, but I didn't do that. No, I just kept drinking. So I'm almost done with my second full mojito. My acid reflux is like turned to 100, full power, maximum volume. And I start realizing if I open my mouth one more time, I'm gonna projectile vomit. So then there's like a lull in the conversation and I take this opportunity and I'm like, I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick. I'll be back in a few minutes. But I am like running to this bathroom thinking I am going to throw up everywhere. I get in the bathroom. Thankfully, there's no one else in there. And I am just like sitting on the counter of the sink, staring at the toilet. Mind you, I know I'm kind of on like a time limit of how much time I can realistically be in the bathroom because This is so stupid. What's running through my mind is the longer I'm in the bathroom, the more likely the kid I'm on a date with thinks I'm taking a shit. So then I'm probably in there for, honestly, probably close to 10 minutes. And I tell myself, let me go back out there so that he doesn't actually think I'm taking a poop in this bar bathroom. I muster up the courage to go back out there. I go to open my mouth to ask him another question, and I feel the fire. I feel the fire from the deep pits of hell in my stomach just come up from my acid reflux, and I feel like I'm about to spew everywhere. And that's when I knew the date was done. And once he was done answering the question, we sat in silence for probably a good 5 to 10 minutes. And then the next words out of my mouth were, okay, I better get going. And I came up with some bad excuse about how it was a work night and I really needed to get going. I then rushed home. And of course, the minute I got home, I felt better. So yes, those were some of the times my IBS or my stomach problems made my life really awkward in social situations. It really sucks when your IBS interferes with your social life and the whole time you're not even focusing on the other person, you're just focusing on like your own body and what you can and can't eat and having to fight off other people and defending yourself about what you can and can't eat and having to pretend you feel fine and act normal when inside your whole body is deteriorating. It's awful and it's exhausting. I hope you guys enjoyed those stories, and I'm glad that I am not completely sober because otherwise I'd probably be crying. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you want to hear more story times about my IBS and how it's pretty much ruined my life. Please let me know I'm not alone in the comments below by sharing some of your embarrassing, awkward stories with IBS. And of course, let me know what other videos you would like to see from me next. Again, make sure to subscribe to the MyIBSLife YouTube channel below and to follow me on Instagram at MyIBSLife. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.